Good afternoon everybody. We're in Fujairah Adventure Park and we're going to go, it's quite windy, so let's see how that affects the filming. Got the special microphone on, so it should be okay. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go to up the face. So if I go like this, it's very quiet here. So right over my shoulder there, that's the face. We're going up to the big sign. So it's often referred to as the big sign. I've got the GPS running. I'm going to press start. I'm not sure there's been any of these hikes that I've been on where I haven't started by saying, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. But guess what? I'm really looking forward to this. And the reason being, this is another... Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The reason being, this is one of the ones that I dug a few years ago. And I've not been on it now for several years. So whether there's indeed even a trail here remains to be seen. But it's a glorious afternoon in Fujairah. This is Lake Rumailah. And what we're going to do, we're going to walk around the lake, over the big rocks, up Reservoir Road. And then we got what we call affectionately outdoors, because there's lots of hairpins go backwards and forwards. And then we get all the way right up to the big sign. If you get up there, you are rewarded with amazing views of the whole reservoir system and the Hajars. There's the pump track here on this side, just here. So you can bring your bikes. The adventure park is free to come into now. You have to pay for the activities, but obviously hiking, and if you've got your own mountain bike, it's free to cycle in here. This is not really one of the cycling routes. There are some flow trail and specifically designed mountain bike routes behind. But anyway, we're here to hike. We're going up to the big sign. Yeah. Tanya's just found Buckingham Palace. Wow, it's windy. Look how well it's...
Remember when you did that?
Yeah, we made this years ago. Years ago. Buckingham Palace, that's what it's called. And we're going to go either way round streets. Once you go round, come back round. Now with the reservoir here, the Oman Sea is that way. That's east. The Hajars are sort of over there. There's not many mountains that way. So this picks up a lot of the water from the mountains. And we've seen this, these two storage containers, we put these here years ago. These storage containers have been completely submerged with water. I'd actually like to open them and see what they're like inside. I bet they're full up still. So if there has been rains, there is a higher route where you can walk around the reservoir as well. It's like being on a beach. Look at that. There used to be a road along there as well. You can just see it still there. As we've been walking along here, there's been little birds, quite exotic birds, sort of just relaxing on the edge. It's quite windy. There's actually waves on the lake. And as we've been walking along, we've kind of startled the birds and they've gone off quickly. If you've been to the park before, you might not recognise it as it currently is, because there used to be a bridge across here before the last really, really heavy rains. And that was lovely to cycle across here. So someone's been here and they've started filling in stones. So you can actually cycle straight across here now. That's nice. I know you can cycle across because I was cycling in here last night. So I thank whoever filled those stones in. Make sure you're in the right gear when you come cycling up here though, because it's quite steep. It's quite steep. Much nicer hiking though, much nicer. So when you're coming up here, what you're looking for is a big rock on the left-hand side. has no earthly reason of being there. And then you'll be able to see where the turn off is. I'll show you in a sec. I mentioned the big rock that has no earthly reason being there. Well, that's it. So just a little bit further on the left-hand side there. But just look at this. Look at what I'm looking at here. The adventure park's looking great. Looking great. There's big plans still for this park. So much potential. So they're just sort of rebuilding, getting it back to how it was before the rains. And obviously COVID really affected the development of the park. It's just here on the left, sweet. Yeah. Sorry? Oh, no one's been up here for years. I remember it. Here. There's actually an old sign. We are intrepid explorers. Luckily, as I say, I actually dug this trail completely by hand. It doesn't look like much now, but took some time. And it's called The Face, up to the big sign. And now the park's open. Once we get a few explorers coming up here on a regular basis, this will soon become a lot clearer. Now the good thing about this, the sun sets over there on the west. So an afternoon hike up here, you've got all the protection. So we're well and truly, look at this, look at that. We are well and truly in the shade. It's called Alpe d'Huez because of all the hairpins, all the backwards, the bends that go straight back on themselves, nearly 180 degrees as we ascend quite quickly. And it's great. Right in a second, there's a junction coming up and we're going to, I don't know how obvious it'll be now, but more or less now, that's it, we go up to the right. Yeah, so we take the steeper of the two. That's very nice, but there is one little bit that could be considered dangerous. Look at the, sweet, quick, look at the bird. Sweet. See the Indian roller? That's the first Indian roller I've seen now so they must be back in town. Yeah, it is a little bit rugged, but to be honest, it's only kind of small obstacles. I could easily come up here one afternoon and tidy all this route up, which I will do for you. But there you go. I will give something back to the community, a bit of CSR, corporate and social responsibility. I'll come up here, I'll bring the pick and the secateurs and get this tidied up for you. So looking forward to seeing you here on the trail. Yeah, all things considered, the trail's actually held up remarkably well. I'm very pleased. I wouldn't have been surprised, but I have said this, often the very big trails that are 1.5 meters, 2 meters wide, they create a channel for the water. Because all the water gets channeled into it, it actually kind of concentrates all the flow of the water and creates a bigger issue. And they really do the trails become destroyed very, very quickly and significantly destroyed. Whereas this, because it's only a single track, honestly, apart from the foliage, the flora, and the occasional stone, yeah, I could tidy this up in a day. As I say, I'll do that for you. So maybe this is the future of trails. Very small, easily managed, or little management type of trails. Very close to city centre shopping, all the amenities. There is a coffee shop in the adventure park, and there's toilets, there's even a shower. So you'd have to go online and just check the opening times of all the facilities in the park. All right, we've been moving for a little over half an hour and we're just about a mile into it, 1.6 kilometers. It's not a long hike, In fact, we get our first view of the big sign. That's where we're going to. And what I often say about the Hajjars, they look like they're a long way away. Yeah, that looks like a long way away, but it's not really. We'll be there in 20 minutes, I would bet. Not too far at all. We were given lots of protection by the mountain itself from the sun and the wind, but we're exposed now. But it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. You enjoying it, sweet? Yeah? Even Tanya's giving it the seal of approval. This hike then up to the big sign is kind of in about, I would suggest, 5 sections. Here, this could be a little bit intimidating to some people, but these stones are very sticky. Just put your hand on the left hand side and pull yourself over it. So the first bit is probably it's very easy. Oh, there you go. There's me trying to make it sound more exciting, and Tanya's ruined it by saying it's very easy. So anyway, round the reservoir, stage 1. Stage 2, up the lower face. Stage 3 we're on now, and we're kind of on the ridge. All right, so we've gone off the face now, we're in the sun, in the wind, and we're walking up the ridge. Stage 4, we're going to descend over the back. Now you can come back down the same way, but we've continued the trail over the back, and it's lovely, and there's a jeep trail to come down on. So that's what we're going to do today. So it's actually a loop, and there's not many loop hiking trails in the UAE, are they? They're all out and backs, out along the same one, but you return by the same route you went out. I don't know if I told you it was a bit windy, but every now and again there are some gusts that almost knock us off our feet. Boom. Like a Tyson Fury punch. Boom. Just about at the top. We've been going 50 minutes from the car park and 2.4 kilometers, more or less. And it's very windy still. We are 241 meters. We've climbed a total of 240 meters, but that doesn't mean to say, that means we must have descended a little bit. Because I think the car park and the adventure park is about 70 meters above sea level. Very windy. Very windy indeed. Well done, sweet. And what we're going to do, we're going to carry on down there, but I'm just going to get a shot from here. Woo-hoo-hoo. Did I tell you it was windy? Well, hold on to your hats. Tanya! I'm actually walking sideways on. I'm a bit worried for the camera actually. Right, we're on our way down then. So we went straight over the top, past the big sign. It's extremely windy. Honestly, every now and again the gusts absolutely knock you off your stride. So I'd say don't come up here in the wind, but come up here in the wind, it's really fun. Now there used to be some foxholes down here a few years ago. 2 big foxholes. You'd often see the foxes up here. And I've been up here, I can't see a thing. I've been up here at night and watched the foxes. This is where the foxes were on the right. Here they were. Oh, they've a long time gone. Still a big hole there though. We're going to drop off to the right in a bit, So we'll get all the protection then. We're well on the way down now. Whoa, there's a big cobweb here, sweet. Big cobweb. Cobweb spiders. You see it? Come forward. Come forward. You'll see him.
I don't want to jump.
Just step over him. These are big spiders, by the way. You don't want to upset them. I've got a video of one, which I'm going to put on a YouTube Shorts. It's big, like this big. Can't see a thing. Anyway, we're well on our descent. We're well on our way down the descent. And very soon the wind's going to abate because we'll be getting some protection. This is pretty destroyed on this side here. But again, it's easily passable. But I'll get up here for you and tidy it up if I can in the next few weeks. If I haven't done so though, just take care and you'll be fine. There's nothing here that you can't walk over or get yourself up and down. A lot of this foliage as well, we've had quite a wet winter. A lot of this foliage, can you see all these crickets or locusts or whatever they are? Hundreds of them, absolutely jumping all over the place. A lot of this foliage will quickly die back because the summer's on its way. As I say earlier, we saw our first Indian roller. That was the first I've seen this year. So they're definitely coming back to town, which can only mean one thing, and that's summer's on its way. We're on the Jeep trail on the way down now, and this is what I was saying on the way up. Sometimes these bigger man-made features that are not really in line, akin with the sort of the natural topographical flow with the features of the mountain, they just create new routes for the water to flow down. And in actual fact, the water's always going to try and find its way down as quick as possible. So that's fairly destroyed there, but then here, not a thing. Oh dear. And the wind has gone. Yeah, the Jeep trail in places here is fairly washed away. And but it's very obvious which way it goes. It's the bit that's washed away, and then you'll find a bit like this that's obviously not washed away. I mean, it's easily passable, but it's not a nicely groomed, manicured mountain trail. This is the rugged side of hiking in the UAE. Yeah, as I say, it's fairly washed away. And I'm not in the slightest bit surprised. This hasn't been walked on for several years. We had COVID with the park that was shut. Then we had the rains, and then we had the development. And there's a big snake. There's a big snake. And we're onto the Jeep trail now that they have flattened out a bit. Still very steep. And in a way, just as difficult to walk on because it's quite loose, but it's slippy. But that's just part and parcel, isn't it, of walking up here in the mountains. And you'd hardly know that it was a sunny or windy day now. You'd hardly know it. The moon is out. We're down to 128 metres. And there's been a few footprints up to here, so clearly people are coming up from the park, and quite rightly so, turning around. Hello. Big honeybee. He's right by you.
I think she likes my perfume.
Is that what it is? Hey. He's back. He does, he likes your perfume. And we're right back down now, very close to the lake, very close to where we started. The whole route is only about an hour and a half, really, a moving time. And normally we walk along the reservoir, but I brought you this way to show you the latest addition to the adventure park. And there's a series of these raised barbecue, recreation, leisure areas. And they're actually lovely. And you get yourself a barbecue. Hey, is it nice up there? So do you want to get a barbecue going one day? All right then, it's official. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so we're finished. We're back into the heart of the adventure park. That's the Z for Zorro. That's the top of the flow trail. That's where we started. We walked off down clockwise round Lake Rumailah. Even stopping there to have a look at the barbecue platforms. We've been an hour and 33 from the start. So you could definitely get round in an hour and 20. We haven't gone slow. And you could definitely spend 2 hours. It's wonderful. 4.4 kilometers to here. So it's back to the car. It's going to be about 4.5 kilometers in total. Excellent. Thanks for joining me. I'll put you in front. Thanks for joining me on this lovely afternoon's walk up to the big sign. The first people to do this for several years to complete this hike, I would say. Listen guys, I'll see you soon. Never stop exploring. Take care.